Well, this will be good. We're about to meet a real-life bug detector. And no, it's got nothing to do with pest control at all. Alan Earl is Australia's answer to Jason Bourne. He uncovers illegal listening devices and hidden cameras in homes and businesses across the country.
Now, with easily accessible spyware at an affordable price, residential eavesdropping and corporate espionage, that's a good word, espionage,
that's a good word,
are more common than you would think. Director of the Australian Bug Detection Group, Alan Earl, joins us live from Melbourne. Hi.
Hi.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So you are a technical surveillance countermeasures specialist. Let's just call you bug detector for short. What's the strangest place that you've ever found a listening device, a bug planted?
Well, they can be hidden in all sorts of places. Over the years, we've found devices in residential areas such as in the shower lighting fittings. We found a microphone transmitter behind painting. GPS trackers on cars are quite common. And hidden cameras, and even in a router. You can buy a special router which has a hidden camera in it.
OK, enough about Carly's house. Well, now, we have to stress that unauthorised surveillance is illegal. But you say that anyone can buy this equipment online. It's cheap, it's easy to get. Who would want to spy on someone they know? Or even worse, who would want to spy on a stranger?
Well, quite often we get engaged by residential clients. It may be that someone might suspect their partner is cheating. They might install a camera or a microphone inside the house somewhere, and they might put a GPS tracker on a car, or they may even put spyware onto the victim's phone, and that will give them functionality to monitor their location, remotely activate the microphone, remotely activate the camera.
OK, when it comes to commercial and corporate properties, who is it that's doing the bugging? Well,
corporate espionage at the end of the day is about trying to obtain a competitive advantage. So it could be an insider threat. So an employee that might be wanting to sell information to a competitor. It could be that a cleaner has been bribed by a member of staff to deploy a device into a boardroom, for instance, to monitor the activities of the boardroom.
OK, walk us through exactly what you do and the equipment used to find hidden cameras and listening devices.
Sure. Well, the work is kind of divided into two sections. First of all, radio frequency analysis to see if there is a bug actually transmitting whilst we're undertaking the work. Bugs don't always transmit for various reasons. So first of all, we'll undertake a radio frequency analysis using a dedicated piece of equipment called a spectrum analyzer. Then we'll work on the physical search to see if there are any cameras or listening devices or transmitters which could be turned off. So that could be using a piece of electronics, a piece of equipment called a nonlinear junction detector, for instance, which will hunt down electronics. We could use a thermal image camera to see if there are any thermal footprints from a piece of equipment. So there's various pieces of technical equipment that we use to ascertain if something's there.
I'm really interested about the domestic sort of uses for all these. What's the sort of the most elaborate setup you've seen? Maybe a wife trying to catch a husband out, or a husband trying to catch a wife out. Like, what's been the most elaborate setup?
Well, we do provide services to various domestic violence support groups. And in one instance, the perpetrator had deployed a tracking system on the victim's vehicle, and it wasn't a traditional sort of tracking device. What he'd done is set up a iPhone in the car that was wired into the mains. It used a 5-volt battery charger socket, wired that in, and then set up the phone as Find My iPhone functionality, and then he was able to track the victim that way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Let's ask this way. If you do find a bug, what happens next? Because it's not like the person doing the bugging is sitting in the next room or something with the internet. You can sort of be anywhere, right? So what happens after you find something?
At the end of the day, it's up to the client what they want to do. And different clients have got different reasons for engaging us. They may have a suspicion as to who is bugging them. It may be that they want to involve law enforcement, and in that instance, what we do is we don't touch the device, because then we're effectively tampering with the evidence. But what we'll do is we'll leave it in situ and take photos, and then we'll engage law enforcement accordingly.
Wow.
With a statement, etc.
And then what you have to do is you just have to whisper and use hand gestures.
Yeah, or go outside. Go outside down the road.
Or go outside, yeah, that's
or write
also
it
an
down on a napkin. We've watched too many movies, clearly. Lovely to talk to you this morning. That's so very interesting.
Thank you for having me.
I did one other very quick question. If somebody has set up hidden cameras in your change room, hypothetically, but you're okay with that, that's all right?
Absolutely.
Okay, okay, thanks.
For the record, I'm not okay with you doing that, but that's...
No, I meant you setting it up in the men's change room here at 7.
To go inside the secret world of private detectives and hear more from people like Alan, you can check out NewsCorp's I Spy podcast, that's EYE. And of course, if you have any concerns about any potentially illegal activity, you can contact Crime Stoppers. That's crimestoppers.com.au. We're laughing, but it's very serious. Or you can call the number on your screen.
They don't call you Creepy Kylie for nothing.
I don't believe they call me that.
Yeah, with a K. Yes. With a K, though.